guitar people, welcome to Have Guitar Will Travel, presented by Vintage Guitar Magazine. With your host, me, James Patrick Regan, otherwise known as Jimmy from the Deadlies. And today I'm speaking with Mondo Cozmo, aka Josh Ostrander. In our conversation, Josh talks about living in Napa and why he moved to Napa from LA and from Philly before that. Josh tells us about his early musical experiences, being inspired by Nirvana, playing a guitar that was destined to be his Christmas present, and watching his neighborhood band that he eventually joined through a storm window. Josh describes his guitars, including an SG that belonged to his wife's ex-boyfriend, and takes us through his amps and pedals and how he gets the wall sound on his songs. Josh gives us the rundown of his bands that led up to Mondo Cozmo and the record deals he had. And Josh talks about Mondo Cozmo's tour schedule. Josh tells us about his musician wife and how she adds the sparkle to Mondo Cozmo's music. And finally, Josh tells us about the resurgence of his song Shine due to the show Reacher and how that affects him financially. You can find out all you want to know about Josh and Mondo Cozmo at their website, mondocozmo.com. That's mondocozmo.com. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, and most of all, review this podcast. I'd really appreciate it. And please support Vintage Guitar Magazine and all the wonderful things they do for us guitar players, because you know what? They do so many wonderful things for us guitar players. Here's my neighbor Josh, otherwise known as Mondo Cozmo. So whereabouts are you in Napa?
I don't even know. I don't know. Well, the wife and I moved up here about a year ago, and we were in LA, and we were kind of over it, you know. Yeah. So this has just been like, man, just kind of heaven. I love it.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's nice.
Yeah. It's you notice it like when you go to buy a burger somewhere.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And you're like, wait, what's in this? You know?
Do you play out? Like, are you playing out regularly?
No, I've been trying to figure out like because I would love to do like a night a month in town just to play, you know. So I'm trying to like sort that out. I don't know. I've made a couple friends, like this guy that owns this bar called The Fink.
Of course,
his name's
Judd.
I'm like, I see the piano up there. I'm like, maybe I'll just stop. You know, I don't know. I'm trying to navigate that and just kind of widen my, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what Judd pays, but you should definitely do that.
It's almost just like I just want to play.
Yeah,
you know, like I wouldn't, you know, like I want to just. He's got there's some players in town, man, where I'm like, what? There's one guy I saw at the Fink. He was playing slide, and it was like, dang, dude could freaking throw down. It was really impressive.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of players up here. People from Ray Manzarek from the Doors used to live here before he passed away.
Oh, you're kidding?
I'm not kidding.
Oh man, yeah. I'm kind of like, I'm starting to like notice like there are like this seems to be like a good spot for like dudes my age.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a while. Like, this is nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm much older than you, but it's still a nice place. It's a good place to play, and I mean, and San Francisco's not too far away if you take the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, I went down the other night to the Giants game, and I was like, oh, I should do this more often. This is way easy.
And you stay with the hell away from Oakland because Oakland sucks. And
I don't know this, but okay, I don't know yet.
Well, I was just in I was at 7th and Broadway in downtown LA not this past weekend, the weekend before, and it's like Disneyland compared to Oakland.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow.
Oakland's pretty bad. Anyway, more about you. I listened to the record. It's like every song is an epic. Your production is fantastic.
Oh, that's sweet of you, dude. Thank you very much.
It's the truth.
That's
sweet. So when did you start? When did you? Was guitar your first instrument, or keyboard your first instrument?
Guitar. So, man, it was kind of funny because like it was the fall or winter after Nirvana's In Utero came out. I just begged my parents for a guitar. That's when I was like, this is what I want to do, you know. So my parents broke down. We didn't have a lot of money, so they got me like an old like, you know, a fake Strat vibe. It was black and white. It was a Squire. It was nice, you know. It was awesome. But like I think they bought it like end of November, and it was going to be my Christmas present.
Yeah.
And so every day I would come home from school, and I would have about like an hour and 40 minutes before my mom would get home from work, or my dad would come home. So I would sneak in and grab the guitar and open it up just right. It was in the cardboard box. I had to do the big staples on the side, pull them out. So it was in there with my dad's guns. So it was like very like, do not mess this up, Josh. So I would sneak in there and I would play the guitar for like, however much time I could, maybe 30 minutes. And then I'd have to put it back in and hide it, put the staples back in, hide the...
Oh, man.
But it was awesome. But then come Christmas morning, I opened it up and I had to act surprised. I was like, oh my God. And then, but at this point, I'd already had a month of really like, and so I started playing chords. And my mom and dad are like, this is meant to be. It was really funny.
and now they know. Because they're going to listen to
now
this.
they know. Yeah. I haven't gotten much better since then.
Oh, come on. All the guitar work sounded great. It's very fitting of the songs you're writing.
Oh, thank you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like starting to fall in love with guitar again. I took like, my wife got me a piano for my 40th birthday a couple years ago. So I really, it's this beautiful upright, it's got this, what's that called when it's like you can put the felt down, like the practice mode.
Yeah.
And it's just really, man, it's so lovely to play. So I got really into that for almost a couple of years. I was just like, I would wake up, go down, drink coffee, and play that piano. Mm-hmm. And then I just like, maybe like a year ago, and it was, my wife has this guitar, and it's like a 72 SG.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was kind of like, it was this weird one because it was like, it was her ex-boyfriend's guitar. So I never played it, but I was like, I didn't know what the rules were, but I would see it and I was like, man, that is a really beautiful guitar. So I went to Aria, my wife, and I was like, hey, would it be okay if I got that guitar kind of set up? Because it hadn't been set up for years. So got it set up, and I swear, man, that thing is just the coolest guitar to play. And I think it made her happy because her, not to get too into the weeds, but he passed away. So this guitar meant something to her, and we just didn't know how to navigate the waters with it.
Sure.
It's turned into this beautiful thing that like this guitar has gotten like a new life, and it kind of like really energized my excitement to play again too, because it's just the neck is so easy, and it's rad, man. I love it.
That's great. You grew up in Philly, is that correct?
Yeah, I grew up in this town called Bucks County, which is just northeast of Philly. So when I was like 17 or so, that's when I moved down into Philadelphia proper. But I grew up in the suburbs of Bucks County.
Okay. And were you playing guitar in high school and all that?
Yeah, dude, when I started, like, I talked to my brother about it, and he was like, dude, it was the weirdest thing. He's like, you just went down into the basement, and I didn't see you for 3 years. And you came out, and you were good. And I think that was like, I was obsessed, right away. I don't know about you, but like, I was like, this is all I want to do. I don't care. I stopped playing sports. I didn't care about anything. I just really was obsessed. I sought out. I think I wish I would have learned. Well, it didn't take too long, but to like really start writing songs right away.
Yeah.
Instead, because it took about like probably 6 years before I was like trying to write a song.
Okay.
And I wish I would have focused on that a little bit earlier.
Nah, things happen for a reason. I mean, it's not like your songwriting suffers now from waiting 6 years.
Yeah, you're right. Whatever happened had to happen, I guess.
Sure,
but
sure.
I do. I don't know. Like it was just such an exciting time of like, and I'm jealous now of kids that have like, every iPhone is
YouTube,
a multi. But they like, you can record on like. I remember like we were like trying to like break apart the VHS player to like make it a recording device and try to multi-track,
My era was dropping the needle and and taking something from on a 45 and dropping it down to 33 and
dude, yeah. It's That's actually
And were you playing in bands in high school or how?
I was lucky. I grew up there was a band down the street from me. I was probably like 15 or so when I started. And there was a band called Trip 66, and they were signed to Columbia Records, and they were like 18.
Oh, wow.
So I used to go over to their house, and they would rehearse, and they were just like a really great rock and roll band. And the singer was this girl named Maria, and her brother Paul. They were in the band together, and she just had like a really like beautiful, like Janis Joplin almost delivery of her voice would really break up really nice.
Yeah.
And these guys were writing their own songs, and they were doing it, and I couldn't figure out how. So I would go over, and I didn't know them. So in Philly we had these storm windows, so you could look down into the basement.
Sure.
So I would lay down on the grass, just move my head, and I could see them rehearsing, and it was the coolest thing. And then I just started following these guys around. I knew where they would go smoke cigarettes and where they play hockey, and I would just be there, and I would be quiet, and I would just like, don't mess this up. And it was probably a good like 6 months where they finally like took me under their wing, and they're like, you want to come downstairs and watch us rehearse? I'm like, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, of course.
And then they kind of, at one point, that band dissolved, and they started another band, and they needed a keyboard player, and like, Josh, do you want to do this? I'm like, heck yeah, I do. Yeah. And I didn't know how to play keyboards, but I ran home and I learned every major and minor chord that night. I was just like, let's go. Like, this is your shot, dude. And I showed up the next day.
Right on.
Like, it was so funny.
That's drive.
Yeah.
And what brought you to LA?
I signed a record deal. After that band, I started a band called LaGuardia. We signed a record deal with Republic Records.
Okay.
And we toured nationally for a long time, so I got to see the country, and I kind of just like was like, oh, there's more out here than Bucks County. Yeah. And I fell in love with like I on that tour. We played LA a couple times, and I really was fascinated by it. I was like, wow, I'm into this. I really like the weather, the smells, the jasmine in the spring. There's stuff happening where I was like, so I kind of clocked that. Yeah. And then that band broke up. I started another band. We signed a deal with Geffen Records.
Wow.
And and so we had like first time, like looking back, wasn't a lot of money, but it was the first time I could be like, yo, Dad, I'm out of here.
Oh yeah. No, but it's probably better that it wasn't a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. So I had enough money where I was like, I'm going out to LA, and I found a cheap apartment, and I was there for 15 years, man, probably. Like, it was up until the pandemic. It was pretty awesome. Made some really lifelong friends there and stuff. Yeah.
As Mondo Cozmo, are you playing? We already talked about playing here in Napa, but are you playing nationally or no?
Yeah, no, we have we got some stuff coming up this year. In May, we're doing like a couple shows down in Texas. Okay. And then I'm really excited. We're doing this festival called See Here Now. Have you heard of that?
Sure, yeah, of course.
So we got invited. We played in Asbury last year on tour. Mm-hmm. We did a headlining show, and I think Danny Clinch, the photographer, we've become buddies, and I think he put us through for See Here Now. So I'm really excited to do it. And I'm like the biggest Bruce guy, so this is like, there's always a chance he might show up. You know what I mean? So it's like, so I'm really excited about that, and we're doing some shows around that Asbury Park show. So I'm excited about that as well.
Yeah, cool. And Bottle Rock Festival, have you been approached yet?
We did it last year.
Oh, you did it last year?
Yeah, we that was our third time doing it, and I'm honestly, dude, that's why I fell in love with this area, because every time we came up here, I'm like, what is going on here? This is just like, it's just a really cool way about this area, you know. And I don't know, I just fell in love with it. But we were lucky enough to do main stage last year. It was a day Pearl Jam played, so it was freaking, it was like one of the best shows, like days we've been blessed to do a lot of festivals, and that was probably, I think Queens of the Stone Age were maybe they played the next day, but
I don't remember.
It was a wild day.
Yeah,
it was a great festival. Yeah. Will you be there this year?
Will I be there? As media, yeah, not playing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I played also. I played the main stage. The year we played on the main stage before Lenny Kravitz and then Stevie Wonder.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and our sound, they were going to give us a sound check because we're going to be the first band on, but then Stevie's sound check went long, and so we were just doing it on the fly. But
and you can't get mad at the guy.
Oh no,
like,
no. And actually, the guy who was providing all the who was doing the sound that year, George Edwards, he's a friend of ours, so he knew our sound. There was no issues.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be hanging out this year, so I hope I run into you. That'd be great.
Likewise.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, are you producing other people besides yourself, or just is it just yourself?
No, I've been trying to like be like, hey, does anybody want to do stuff? Because it's like this fun little time for me where I'm like kind of way ahead on writing at the moment. So I'm like, oh man, I actually went down to the Napa School of Music and I was like, hey, do any kids want to take like classes on how to write songs? Because I'm just like, I want to like kind of, get to know the town a little bit and meet some folks and do something. I don't know. I just, I've been blessed with this, so I kind of want to like, Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
And is your wife a musician as well, or no?
She is, man. She puts out her own stuff. I love it. She's like just released a new song, and I'm like, wait, what? And I get her to sing on a lot of my stuff.
Okay.
And she's kind of like, when we got a good song going, I'm like, hey, will you come down and sing on this? Because she's just like the icing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she sang on Shine, she sang on Hold On to Me. She's done. Anytime we got like one where I'm like, oh man, this is good, how can it be better? It's like, get the wife to sing on
it. and does she play an instrument as well, or she's just a singer?
Yeah, she does it all, man. We got like, I like it because she likes to play drums, but it's very much like a White Stripes situation.
Okay,
so we just kind of like, she's just like boom, boom, boom. And it's just, she plays a little bit of piano, a little guitar. She does it all, but she's got that. I'm so jealous of the gift that she has, where she can do harmonies really well. Like really, like that's something I'm not the best at, so like when I hear that, or like you see groups and they got that family harmony and you're like, oh man, it's just like so natural. It's just the most beautiful thing. I wish I had that gift.
Well, it's this is going to sound sexist, but sometimes girls are blessed with that ability only because they didn't have any inhibitions when they were younger about singing.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Yeah.
What's your guitar collection look like?
Oh man, I got I'll show you that 72.
Yeah.
This is the one that's kind of just been crushing for me lately.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of stuff, man. I just got this Les Paul. I don't even know. It's like, I don't even know what it is, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like a gold top, but
with the
P90s.
Yeah.
But they're so, I don't know if it's the wiring of this house or what, but they're so noisy. I barely get to play it. This is my pride and joy, though. This is I painted it and did the whole thing.
A Gretsch?
I did. Yeah. This crushes live. But
what is it? Is it one of the Korean Gretches, or is it a USA Gretsch?
No. How would I be able to tell that?
Does it say Electromatic on the headstock?
Yeah, it says Electromatic.
Yeah, that's Korean.
So
but it doesn't matter. They're still great.
Made
guitars.
in Korea.
Yeah.
Well, because I went on it because I was like, oh, I want to buy another one and paint it and see if I can redo it.
Yeah.
And they don't make that specific one, but it was so sweet because when I was a touring musician in like 2000, I want to say like 2008 maybe. We had we were doing a residency in LA, and it was the last night of our residency, and we kept all of our gear in this freaking conversion van. Everything got stolen. And it was like we just moved to LA, and we're like, oh fuck, this sucks. Yeah. We're like, what are we gonna do? And it was, I think we were on MySpace at that time. I don't think Instagram or Facebook was a thing yet. Maybe, I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe Facebook was, but we put it out there, and Gretsch sent me that guitar for free.
Oh, right on.
Which was so sweet. Ludwig sent my drummer like a whole drum set.
Wow.
It's like all these, like we weren't, it was really sweet. And so I love that, and I painted it like when Mondo started, and
it's red, white,
and I
and
did
blue.
like Bucko, and I did
exactly.
the
it's a buck
what was the
Gretsch.
guy, the Ernest Tubbs was that the guy that had thanks on. So I saw a picture of that. I'm like, dude. So like when we finished the set, and there's a mat, sometimes there's big crowds, and you turn the guitar up and hold it, and it says thanks, and people freaking, this is the best piece of advice I could give a musician. Great thanks.
What about amps? What are you doing for amps?
Man, I got an AC30 that I love. But goddamn, it's so heavy, bro.
Yeah, it is.
I can't. So my favorite amp right now is this guy, the Fender Blues Junior. But I put like an American flag on the thing. It's pretty sick. But it's like, you know what I mean?
That's badass.
Yeah. And then but it's a Blues Junior, but it says LTD, like limited.
Yeah.
So there seems to be some, I don't know if it's the speaker or what, but there's a difference between that and the Blues Junior for sure. This one breaks up just a little bit nicer for
we
me.
can look it up and figure out what it is.
But the weight of it is right up my alley.
Sure.
Because you hit after 35, like I'm like, I don't want to move that AC30 ever again.
What do you do when you're like, so you're going to play the festival? There's probably backline. What are you going to use there?
Well, we always bring. I'll probably fly with that amp just because like sometimes I run my acoustic through it, which has been kind of sweet. Yeah. Because I really struggle with like some of our bigger songs are like acoustic based, so it's like running it through the DI just is such a bummer for me because I'm like, this just sounds like trash. So I've been running an A/B switch through my pedal board so I can run just a clean line, and then I just have to walk back and turn down the drive a little bit on the amp. But dude, it's like I love it. Like the acoustic just sounds like it's really authentic.
Sure. How do you get the overdriven sounds that you like on a few of those songs? That's super overdriven. I'm not the biggest fan of distortion. I like a little bit of dirt coming from the amp, but for like my the wall, we call it, it's a DD6 and a Holy Grail, and I just step on them at the same time. And it's just like it just does the thing. Sure. It's really like all I use live. I have like the Tube Screamer I think is sitting there on the pedal board, but it doesn't really do. I don't really use it unless I'm going for like an attempted solo. Yep. But I was doing a studio session with this guy named John Hill, and he had this pedal. It's a Maestro. Like a E2 pedal. It's freaking huge. And old school.
And I fell in love with it, and I was like, oh my God. And then I saw one guy was selling it on this guy in LA. It's got a store called Uniform Music. It's like appointment only. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. And so me and I guess the guitar player from Cage the Elephant both wanted this thing, and it was like, who could drive there faster to get it? And luckily I got it. But there's this one setting, like if you put it straight down the middle at broad, and you find the right EQs on the sides, these things are sick. Yeah. But you sound like Keith Richards It's just like, I don't know what happens, but I'm like so thankful for it.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. Not fuzz for the most part, but like just a little,
it's just like
a little
like
hair,
a little dirt, it's really sweet. I love it.
Yeah. Any other tricks that you got? What are you doing for an acoustic?
Okay, so when I was a kid, my dad, he was a landscaper, and during like the winter times when we couldn't landscape, we would do like we would paint people's houses, interiors. And there was one year we were doing it, and it was like a really nice house, and we went up into the attic for some reason, and this was right when I like was learning guitar, so I was like all obsessed about it. And I saw this little acoustic. It was like a really crappy cardboard almost type guitar case. So I went over to it and I started to lift it up, and I saw this guitar, and it had the mother of pearl inlays on the acoustic, and it's just sitting there collecting dust. And I was just, my face must have just been like, because my dad looked over and he just said, "Don't even think about it." And I was like, all right, you're right. But I closed the thing. I worked on that house for like 2 months painting this freaking house. Finished the job, I come home, and my dad walks into the house, and he's got the guitar. And the sweetest thing, he must have gone to him and been like, "Can I buy this guitar?" My kid's like, it's just sitting up there in the attic. Like that, my dad like doesn't do stuff like that. So like that was like out of his comfort zone, like out of his professional, like, whatever. Yeah. And so it is my favorite thing. And it's it's like a 70s Epiphone.
Yeah, right on.
And I swapped out the, I got like the Hummingbird. What is this? The pick inlay or whatever?
Yeah, the pick guard.
Pick guard. It's just my favorite thing. And it's like every time I play, I just think of my pops and stuff, and
of course,
where this guitar came from. But then I had a pickup put in a couple years ago.
Sure. I
don't know what it is, and I hope it doesn't need a battery because I don't know how to replace it. But I think it's
probably if there's no volume knob or anything, it's probably a K&K.
Okay, but it's really good.
Yeah,
I really like it.
That's my favorite, is the K&K.
But yeah, that's been like we went down to the Ohana Fest. Have you heard of that?
Yep, of course.
My wife and I went down to that this year, and I was pumped. Idols played. I was like, this is one of the best shows I saw all year. But before Pearl Jam came out, Alanis Morissette came out. And brother, I gotta tell you, just her band. I was shook at how good it sounded, to the point where the next day I tracked down her guitar player.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Bro, I'm sorry. I know you get these all day, but how do you get your acoustic sound to sound so good?" And he was so sweet, man. He wrote me like this long email of like how he does it, and like I went and bought all this stuff, and it was just really sweet. So like,
how does he do it?
Well, he runs it through an LR Bragg.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
LR Baggs or
LR
Bragg?
Baggs, yeah.
So, but he said a big component of the sound was the actual guitar and the pickup. I can't remember which one it was, but I just thought that was the coolest thing.
Probably also LR Baggs, I'm guessing, but maybe not.
Yeah, I forget what it was now, but I just thought it was like the classiest thing to be like, this is how I do it. And he was really appreciative. He's like, "Dude, I've been working on this as well for many years. So that means a lot." Yeah. So that was sweet.
Yep. Right on. And as far as gear and stuff, at buying and selling, what do you do? Do you do Reverb, eBay? Are you going to local stores? Where do you go?
Dude, I swear to God, if I even think about buying a piece of gear, my wife she throws something at my head. You know what I mean?
No, it's one piece in, 3 pieces out.
Yeah. Got to make room for the new stock, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reverb's awesome. It's kind of fun to just Facebook Marketplace.
Sure.
I see I'm always looking for a Wurlitzer that somebody doesn't know that they have a Wurlitzer 200A. Cleaning out the garage.
Yes, exactly. They are out there.
Yeah, so that's always fun. But yeah, I feel like I have what I need. I don't like. There's always something I want, but at this point, it's like a lot of times it's like plugins.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, man, I want to try that plugin. But,
Sure. Yeah.
That's kind of like the excitement for me at the moment.
Yeah. So, you mentioned the festivals. Are you doing anything to push the record?
Yeah, well, we did a headlining tour for the record,
Okay.
and now we're just like I'm in the process of like, I'm writing. So like that's like it's an everyday thing for me, which is I'm really blessed to be able to do.
Yeah.
So I just get up and I go and I write, and it's I've been it's just weird because we just had this moment where like we had a song that came out 10 years ago just kind of go viral again because of a TV show. So we're trying to navigate like how do we handle this, because it's an interesting one, and I think that's kind of like creating a lot of opportunity for us right now that we're trying to figure out like what's the best way to handle this.
Oh, yeah. Can we talk about the Reacher?
So that was it. So there's this TV show called Reacher, and they asked us like honestly like 2 years ago. They were like, can we use your song Shine, which was a song that came out 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, of course, use it, whatever. Yeah. But I had no idea the show was so popular.
Yeah.
But brother, it came out, and like the next day it was number 5 most Shazam song in the country. And we were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then the next day it went to the 3rd most Shazam song in the country.
Wow.
And then the next day, and for the next following 3 or 4 days, it was the number 1 Shazam song in the country. I couldn't believe it, dude. I couldn't. I was like, this is a dream. And like, we're just trying to like navigate like how do you handle like a song that was popular 10 years ago?
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Finding it for the first time, it's like it's a beautiful thing.
And I mean, not to get too personal, but what does that mean to you financially? Like,
Nothing.
Nothing. That's what I figured.
My buddy who I grew up with, he like Arch, he's in my band. He sent me a screenshot of my net worth as Google sees it. Yeah. I'm like, that ain't right, dude. I don't know what that is. But he's like, give me some money. I'm like, I don't have any. No, but you know what? That Universal or Republic Records, who owns the song, like they spent a lot of money on Mondo Cozmo. So that money goes, the master side goes to them.
It's recouping.
That's fine.
You're recouping.
Yeah, it's recouping. But the publishing side, I'm like, I feel like I'm in a really good spot with that. I'm like, I feel like I really like my publisher, and this is like, this is how musicians make a future for themselves.
Yes, exactly.
Is writing. So
you don't have to work a day job or anything like that, right? You're doing.
I don't. It's getting like I wouldn't mind doing something, but it's like I don't know how to do anything else. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why there's the Napa School of Music. It's for people like you to help kids out and make some money on top of it.
Dude, I went down there. Have you been there?
No.
It's like the coolest little thing. They have like 500 kids there. It was fascinating. It was like really cool, like to see. I'm like, you have 500 kids that want to play guitar. That's awesome.
Yeah, or drums.
Or drums.
Yeah, 2 of the drummers that I work with teach there.
Oh, sick! Nice.
Yeah. And one of them is the former drummer from Death Angel.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
They just did. I might have met him. They just did. The kids do this battle. It's not battle of the bands, but it's like their bands all play at a bar around here.
Yeah.
So I went to it. I was like, I'll go check out 1 or 2 of them. I stayed the whole time. And some of these kids were better than bands I've toured with. Oh, I was like, holy moly! Like, it was so charming, and I was excited. I was excited to see like, because I worry about guitar, and I worry about like what are kids even going to be playing guitar in 20 years? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But they are. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Where do people go if they want to find you?
Oh, I'm best on Instagram, and that's just Mondo Cozmo, and it's Cosmo with a Z.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of that's the only one I know how to log into.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you have a website where tour dates and everything?
Yeah, that's mondocosmo.com. Again,
Okay.
Cosmo with a Z.
Right.
And we got all the dates up for Texas and Asbury Park. I think Asbury's sold out, but we just announced a Philly show.
Sure.
Before that, and I think we got some more stuff coming up too. I'm excited about.
Right on. Well, I hope to run into you here in town, like soon.
You're gonna. This is amazing. I'm so excited.
All right, cool. Well, it's wonderful speaking with you.
You too, James. I'll probably see you at Bottle Rock. Okay.
Okay. Well, if not sooner. Bye. See you later. Thanks for listening to Have Guitar Will Travel. You can catch up on all the things I'm doing at thedeadlies.com. And I'm on all the social media platforms as well. And please support Vintage Guitar and all the wonderful things they do, because they do many, many wonderful things for us guitar players. Thanks. Please subscribe. Please tell a friend. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.